Welcome to the first episode of Political Failblog News. My name is Mary Jane Puffer.
And I am Sir Hornsby St. Cloud. Thank you for joining us. And here are today's headlines.
The feds search Facebook for information. Federal investigators in Detroit have taken the rare step of obtaining search warrants that give them access to Facebook accounts of suspected criminals. The warrants let investigators view photographs, email addresses, cell phone numbers, lists of friends who might double as partners in crime, and see GPS locations that could help disprove alibis. Sir Hornsby.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Today there are new concerns over swine flu vaccinations after children who were given the shot were hit by a sudden sleep syndrome. A swine flu vaccine which has been given to thousands of children in Britain may cause a sleep disorder, narcolepsy. Symptoms include excessive daytime sleepiness and nodding off suddenly without warning. All packets of the vaccine pandemics will have to carry a warning about the risk following a ruling by the EU regulator, the European Medicines Agency, EMA.
Those poor children. In other news, the British police are promising decisive action against royal wedding protesters. British police chiefs on Tuesday warned protesters planning to disrupt the royal wedding that they will be dealt with robustly and decisively, outlining plans for one of the biggest security operations ever held in the UK. Over 5,000 officers are involved. Police chiefs admitted, however, that they have no specific intelligence to suggest a terrorist threat. Commander Christine Jones of the Metropolitan Police said, "In London we operate on a daily basis against the backdrop of a severe threat from international terrorism, but we have no specific intelligence to suggest a threat to this event at this time."
Fuck the royals. They are no better than me or you, Mary Jane. Let's go south of the border, where Mexico's House of Deputies are likely to approve a police state law. Mexico's House of Deputies has brought the country to the cusp of a police state. The reform to the national security law now before the lower house would grant sweeping military powers to the executive and limit congressional oversight of domestic military activity. It would grant President Felipe Calderón the ability to effectively declare states of exception without congressional approval and unilaterally use the military against any group he deems to be a threat to internal security. Also expanded would be the surveillance powers of the Army, Marines and CISN, the Center for National Security and Investigation, which would be allowed to use any method of information collection, without in any case affecting human rights and guarantees for their protection. Mary Jane.
Sheet. I guess I have to cancel my trip to Cabo. Today we learned that the US knew some Guantanamo detainees were innocent thanks to documents released by WikiLeaks. The United States held hundreds of inmates who were either totally innocent or low risk for years and released dozens of high-risk Guantanamo inmates, according to leaked classified files. The new leaks reveal that inmates were held without trial on the basis of often seriously flawed information, such as from mentally ill or otherwise unreliable co-detainees or statements from suspects who had been abused or tortured, the New York Times reported. Back to you, Sir Hornsby St. Cloud.
Thank you for that, Miss Puffer. In more news about the royal wedding, no one gives two shits about the British royal wedding is turning swiftly into a public relations disaster, with news that Bahrain's Crown Prince is respectful at turning down his invitation to the event because of the situation reigning in the Persian Gulf Kingdom. However, the real story behind the headlines is that the diplomatic shuffle reveals that the British establishment is well aware of the vicious repression being conducted by the Bahraini rulers along with the armed forces of neighboring Gulf states, including Western allies Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman.
How gross. I wish I could be in London to protest this disgusting event. I think the love police, as Charlie Veitch says it best. Veitch said, "What I have an issue with is when the state creates the biggest public spectacle the world has ever seen and charges us, the taxpayer, millions and millions of pounds to pay for the security, when so many people in this country are against it."
Abso-fucking-lutely, Mary Jane. Today we posted a piece titled Getting Off the Globalist Chessboard, and Introduction. To put it simply, America is nearing a checkmate scenario. Like the final torrid maneuvers of a rigged chess match, we have been pressed, manipulated, and attacked into the last remaining corner of the grand global chessboard, left to us, centralized control of all social and economic power into the hands of an unworthy elite. If we continue playing the game by the rules, we will lose. There is no doubt. There have been many solutions presented to us in the past to combat this development, but nearly all of them function within the constraints of federal politics. Working within the system has earned us no quarter, and frankly, no results. Mary?
And for our final story, we take you to our new friends at reeferpages.com, where they bring us our marijuana news. Today's post is The Twofold Purpose of Marijuana Arrests in New York City, to jail African Americans and Latinos and maintain the New York City budget deficit. Today's Huffington Post ran a great article on the enormous number of arrests in New York City for marijuana possession. In fact, possession of marijuana is the #1 leading cause of arrests in the city. The Huffington Post shows that in 2010 alone, 50,383 people were arrested for possession of marijuana in Nike. That's 4,198 arrests per month, 969 arrests per week, and 138 arrests per day. The most striking thing about this article isn't just the sheer number of arrests, but the disparity between the number of Caucasians, African Americans, and Latinos being arrested for the crime. Thank you for watching Political Fail Blog News. My name is Mary Jane Puffer.
And I am Sir Hornsby St. Cloud. Wishing you an informed day. Visit politicalfailblog.com to read more about these stories. Peace out.